The first time I heard it, I blamed exhaustion. Anyone who's taken care of a newborn knows that sleep becomes a rumor. Your mind plays tricks on you. You think you see movement in the corner of your eye. You forget if a sound was real or imagined. So when I heard a voice through the baby monitor at 2:34 in the morning, I assumed it was the result of nerves and too much caffeine. A soft whisper, low and rough, just beneath the static. But then my wife sat up beside me. Her eyes were wide. "Did you hear that?" The monitor sat on the nightstand between us, the green-tinted screen showing our daughter Lily sleeping in her crib. She was 6 weeks old, too young to speak or even coo clearly. But what came through the speaker wasn't her, and it wasn't us. The voice said, "Come closer." I got out of bed so fast I knocked over the lamp. My wife was already halfway to the nursery. We threw open the door. Lily was fine, still sleeping, swaddled tight. The room was empty. No windows open, no closets ajar, nothing out of place. But the air felt wrong, heavy, like someone had been in there just moments before. I checked the monitor. It was an older model, just a basic analog feed, supposedly secure. No internet access, no Bluetooth. I still unplugged it and left it on the floor. We moved Lily into our room that night. She slept between us, her tiny hands curled into fists, unaware of anything. The next morning, I replaced the monitor with a new one. Different brand, still no Wi-Fi. I ran a frequency scan, tested for interference, and even borrowed a spectrum analyzer from a friend who installs security systems. Everything came back clean. For 5 nights, we slept in shifts. We watched Lily on the monitor but heard nothing strange. She stayed in her crib, happy and quiet. Then it came back. On the 6th night, the monitor lit up at exactly 2:34 a.m. We were both awake. My wife was feeding Lily, and I was sitting up, scrolling through articles about monitor interference. That was when the voice returned. It whispered, "I'm still here." My wife froze, bottle in hand. The monitor flickered. For a split second, the screen distorted. Just static, then the nursery again. Lily was lying back down. She hadn't made a sound. I turned off the monitor, yanked the batteries out, and threw it in the trash. Lily slept with us again. But that day, she began acting differently. She wouldn't look at us during feedings. Instead, she stared over our shoulders, always toward the same spot on the wall. She'd stop drinking and smile at nothing, or cry without warning. At first, we thought it was gas or colic, but then the staring became specific. Always toward corners, always toward empty space. On Thursday, we heard it again, the voice. But this time, it wasn't words. It was laughter. Quiet, breathless, and wrong. It didn't rise or fall, just a steady, hollow laugh that echoed faintly through the speaker. I unplugged everything, the monitor, the lamps, the baby noise machine. I couldn't trust any of it. Instead, I bought a basic camcorder. Battery-powered, no wireless features. I set it up in the nursery, aimed at the crib. Then we brought Lily back into our room and left the camera running overnight. The next morning, I played the footage. Everything looked normal until 2:34 a.m. That was when Lily sat up. She hadn't even rolled over yet at that age. We were still weeks away from that milestone. But in the video, she sat up smoothly, like someone had helped her. Her eyes were open, staring at the corner above the rocking chair. She giggled. Then the wall moved. Not the room, not the camera, just the wall. A bulge, like something behind the plaster, was pushing outward. The drywall flexed, the corner shifted slightly, and for a brief second the paint cracked. There was no face, no shape, just pressure, something trying to come through. Lily lay back down slowly, her eyes never leaving the corner. I shut off the footage. I didn't show my wife. Instead, I called my brother. He's an electrician. He checked the wiring, the insulation, the outlets. Everything behind that wall was normal. No signs of damage or rodents, no temperature changes. He even used a thermal camera to confirm. When I told him about the video, he didn't laugh. He said, "There's an old theory. Some people think analog signals can pick up things that digital filters out. Ghost frequencies, paranormal interference." I asked what he meant. He said, "Not ghosts, not spirits, just things that leak through." I didn't press him. That night, we didn't use electronics. No baby monitor, no video. Just the three of us in the same room, taking turns staying awake. At 3:12 a.m., Lily started crying. My wife got up to check on her. She stopped halfway across the room and said, "Do you hear that?" I did. Scratching, faint and rhythmic. Not random like a mouse, not loud like pipes expanding. It was steady, deliberate. I walked to the wall and placed my ear against it. The scratching stopped. Then a whisper came through, so close it made the wood vibrate. It said, "I miss her." I punched a hole through the drywall. There was nothing behind it. We left the house that night and went to my sister's apartment. We told her we were renovating. She didn't ask many questions. 3 nights later, I got a text from our neighbor. He said he saw someone standing on our lawn around 3 in the morning. Just standing. Not moving. When he stepped outside to confront them, the person was gone. We hadn't told anyone what was going on. A week passed. Then 2. We stayed with my sister while we looked for a new place. My wife cried a lot during that time. So did Lily. We kept her close. We never left her alone, not even for a second. Eventually, the house sold. We didn't go back inside. We didn't collect anything. Just hired a company to box it up and donate what they could. Now we're in a new home, a condo far from that street. Lily is 5 months old. She doesn't stare into corners anymore. She smiles more often, giggles when we play peekaboo, and sleeps through the night. But last week, she started crawling. We found her in the kitchen early one morning. She had dragged herself across the tile and opened the bottom cabinet. It was the one where we kept the cleaning supplies, tucked far in the back behind a child-proof lock we hadn't taught her to undo. The door was wide open. The lock was sitting neatly on the floor, and Lily was just sitting there, staring inside the cabinet, not touching anything, just breathing slow and steady. I picked her up and moved everything out of the cabinet that night. Then I reviewed the hallway camera footage. At 2:34 a.m., the lights dimmed. The video glitched slightly. Then Lily crawled into frame. She wasn't looking around or exploring. She went straight for the cabinet. Something was already waiting inside. I couldn't see it clearly. Just movement. A shape shifting in the shadows under the sink. Lily reached toward it, and it reached back. The next night, I stayed up and set up every camera I had. I kept the hallway monitor close. At exactly 2:34 a.m., Lily stood in her crib. I watched on the screen as her mouth opened, but the sound that came out wasn't hers. It was mine, my exact voice. It said, "She's ready now." Then the signal cut out. I ran to her room. Lily was gone. The crib was empty. In the center of the mattress was the baby monitor I had thrown away weeks ago. It was turned on. The screen was glowing. It showed a live feed of our hallway, and something was moving toward our bedroom.